Why do we act? What is acting? They say that acting is just plain pretend. But if we pretend that we are acting, then where does acting stop and really begin? Acting is real, but so is faking. And there are fakings that seem awfully nice. Reality sucks, and so does acting. But here we are, and in my eyes, I am a professional actor, member of the Screen Actors Guild. I have so many things to tell you, so ready for your mind to be filled. Acting is fun, and life is a joke. You can't have a fire without having smoke. This is a race, and I am no teacher, so tell me, what do I need to do to reach you?
Hello, my name is Ratliff. I'm a professional actor, and this is the acting class. Just by a show of hands, I'd like to see how many people have attended one of these acting classes before. A smattering. How many of you are actors? Another smattering. And how many of you are non-actors? A majority. Here we go. All right. Well, I'm going to tailor this so that it hopefully will appeal to all of you, but I will be talking to some actors and some non-actors during the course of this. I trained to be an actor on 2 continents, first in the American Midwest for a few years, after many years of amateur theatricals, and then I went abroad to England, where I completed my studies and turned professional before eventually quitting for over a decade and then returning to it. And now it is what I do. It is what I do for a living. And I want to try and share some insights about the industry, some insights about the craft, and we'll get into a little bit of both of it. I want to begin by talking to an actor who is currently in the midst of working. If there is one here, I'll be amazed if there is one. I want to go out. Yes, you are currently a working actor.
Yeah.
You're on a job. What kind of job are you on? You just finished 10 episodes of an NBC sitcom, recurring, you said? Okay. And do you think there'll be more work on this show to begin with? Like as it goes forward? There's the possibility, but you are actually done right now.
Yeah.
But they haven't paid you yet.
No, they paid.
They have paid you. Okay, so you're out of work. That was not what I asked for, but I'll take it. I'll take it. You see, this is what actors have to do. It's a constant hustle. I ask for someone who is currently working, and I get an unemployed actor who once worked recently. So 10 episodes. Are you in all 10? Do you have representation? I'm assuming yes. Where do they put your name? When are you? Because there's places we haven't talked about this before. This is very much in the weeds. Where your name is? Is it in the opening credits? If you're recurring, no way. It's not in the opening credits. Every time I've been mildly recurring in a number of TV shows, and every time I book one of these things, my manager says we're going to try to get your name bumped up to when the show is starting, and you kind of see like it's sort of like. You have the main credits and it sort of spits out some names at the beginning who are going to be in it. And my manager always says, I'm going to try to get you up there. And every time, and I say, that's fine, you can try. You can try. Like Orange is the New Black has a lot of names. I don't think they're going to like put me into the, and then, well, then I'll try to get you in the end credits, get you a really good placement there. And most of the time what they end up saying is, no, you're just like, you're going to be really fast at the very end when the credits sort of panic. And most people have already hit the button that says, I don't want to see the names of people who did this. I want to see something else. This is a new development, by the way. There's always been, it used to be that you go to the movies, and at the end of the movies, it would just say, the end, and everyone would leave. And then at a certain point, movies started having credits at the end, and people would just get up and they'd leave. And they'd walk out of the building, and some people would stay and watch. But it used to be that TV shows, you would see credits with names. They go fast, and then they go a little faster, And then someone had the idea, what if we push them up to the side in that corner and then other stuff in the rest of the screen? Or what if we like squish them down to the bottom and go real fast? There's always someone who's like, what's the best way we can get to? We just have to show these names. We legally have to show who made them. What is the most subconscious way that we can give credit to these people? Where's your name going to be in the credits to this? You're going to be squished in the corner, skipped if it's streaming. People on Peacock will be like, I want to see another episode. I don't want to sit here for even 30 seconds to pretend to honor the work that went into this. I want to watch a whole new episode of a show. How do you feel? Does your manager try to get your name in a better place?
Not yet. Maybe next season.
I mean, you were in all 10 episodes. I've never done that.
Well, there were 18 and I was in 10.
It's still a good ratio. But not as good as I thought. When I was imagining a 10-episode season, you're recurring in all of them. I thought, this is a semantic trick. Tell me about the character that you play. I'm assuming you can't talk about the show, maybe?
No, it's been announced.
Okay, well then.
I'm a nurse at a hospital.
You're a nurse at a hospital in an NBC sitcom. Has the sitcom come out yet?
Not yet.
It's brand new. So we're in the moment where we're either on the brink of you experiencing a life-changing opportunity, a show that everyone falls in love with, or you're going to watch something that is just going to get seen and then forgotten, or not seen, ignored, and it will be as if all of the work that went into it was a dream. It's a pretty wide range of possible experiences, but right now, all of them are true. Right now, this is like Schrodinger's IMDb credit. Where you don't know, this could be the thing that 20 years from now, people are, we've been watching that show with the doctors, it's funny. Is it all in a hospital?
Yeah.
All right. So this could be this generation's Scrubs. This could be one of those things that really people attach onto. And the nurses on a medical show, it feels like if you played your cards right, like I'm going to ask some questions. I don't expect, there's certain answers I expect whether they're true or not. But you seem, apart from lying to me at the very outset, which is a red flag, you seem genuine. You seem like you're being honest with me. You said 10 episodes and then you copped to the 18. Are you easy to get along with professionally? Like, were there any problems when you were filming? You caused no problems. And do you think, are you the type of person who years later you find out you caused problems in friendship situations or something? You're like, I thought we were fine. And you're like, no, you're a nightmare. You're not that kind of person? Okay, so there's no reason if the show, there's a million factors that go into this. But if the show becomes successful, it feels like you are on the cusp of a potential thing that you could, because they don't want to keep having to hire different. It's just like a real hospital. You'd rather have a reliable staff, right? Fake hospitals work the same way as real hospitals. And when I say fake, I mean in the context of dramatized hospitals, not frauds that people are perpetrating. Where people pretend there's a medical facility and it's some sort of psyops thing. I can't speak to that. It's not my business. Tell me about the character that you play, the nurse. Do they have a name?
Holly.
Holly? They have a last name? Okay. It's early. 10 out of 18. Why burden the show with a last name? And tell me about Holly. What is Holly like? Is Holly funny?
Holly sets up a lot of jokes.
Sets up a lot of jokes. So other characters will get the laugh, but a laugh that couldn't exist with it. So how did you play it? How did you approach the role of Holly? Tell me some things about Holly and some of the people that Holly interacts with in this scenario.
Sure. In one episode, I would say Holly's quite gossipy.
Okay, that's funny.
That's part of the storyline for a bigger character, that she feels left out of the gossip that Holly is bringing.
Holly is gossipy, feels left out. Other funny things happen because of the gossip that Holly tells or spreads.
Yeah.
Is that consistent in the other 9 episodes that Holly is gossipy?
No. Just one.
Do you have any aspirations for the character of Holly? Are there things that because I do this a lot, where I'll book a very small role, and I'll start thinking about like, oh boy, they could bring this guy back, and he could do this and this and this. And every now and then it happens, but every now and then, most of the time it doesn't happen. They don't bring the person back.
Right.
Do you have any dreams for Holly? Some things that you would like to see?
Well, that's a good question. I think Holly could. There was one part where I was in a little bit of a love triangle with two of the series regulars.
That's promising.
Yeah. So I was like, maybe Holly's like romantic life could evolve, or maybe she could. I don't know.
Anything's possible. Anything's possible. Where is Holly from? What does she want?
Right. She lives in Oregon.
She lives in Oregon. I've lived in Oregon. Where in Oregon?
I don't know if it's a real town.
But to Holly, it's real.
Yeah.
This isn't a scenario where Holly is unaware whether her childhood was real or whether she's in a simulation.
Correct.
All right. And what does Holly want? Just to be a good nurse? Does she have a life outside of the hospital?
Not that I'm aware.
Not that you're aware. No, but here's the thing though. I'm going to help you. And I say this as someone who's never booked 10 episodes out of 18. You have to be, and when I say you have to be, you don't have to be, but you have to be ambitious with, I think Holly is a very important character in whatever the hell the show is. I think Holly has a larger arc, and I think let's be optimistic, when this show, does it have a title? Why don't we go ahead and promote it? What are we being coy about?
It's called St. Denis Medical.
St. Denis Medical. That sounds familiar. Who made this show?
The creators of Superstore.
St. Denis Medical. Did I go up for this?
Probably.
I don't know. There's something, the thing is when you audition for things, particularly in the self-tape era, you don't book them. You just throw those thoughts away. You throw those experiences away. But they're somewhere in there. This is striking something in me. I don't know whether I went up for this, but congratulations. But let's say Superstore went for so many years. There's no reason not to assume that St. Denis Medical isn't going to be another success. The country, the world is hungry for comedy, for professional grade comedy in the vein of Superstore. The healthcare system is a relatable situation, so it feels like this. I'm just here because I want to try to hype this up, and I want to get you in a frame where when you get brought back, because when they get another 18 episode, or maybe they get picked up for a 22, who knows? St. Denis Medical comes back. One of the first things they're going to want to do is like, okay, we got another season to do. We got to get the hospital staff back. We have the people who are under contract. You are not under contract. You're recurring. But the easiest thing for them to do is just bring back the people that they know they like. So they're like, we like Holly. We've invested in Holly. We have Holly gossiping. We have Holly in a love triangle. That involves two other. Were the other people in the love triangle, were they regulars or recurring? So you are in a love triangle with two regulars. It seems unfair, but it's actually a positive thing because you're now latched to them. So unless they have some sort of notions that they want to use you as a self-destruct button for these characters in their relationship, Holly is going to come back. And I think today we should build a framework that when Holly comes back, there should be a feeling among the people who make that show. Something different about Holly. We liked Holly. We always liked Holly. We created Holly. We cast you as Holly. What's your name again?
Alex.
Alex? We cast Alex as Holly, and we liked Holly, but she was a recurring character. 8 times out of 18, we had no use for Holly. But she's back. And it seems as if she has a deeper want. What do we think that is? I don't want to give it to you, because I think it needs to belong to you, but I want to explore it with you, and maybe we can figure this out. So Holly's from Oregon, a town called? Merrick. I'm not familiar. Does anyone know if Merrick, Oregon is a real place?
I'm from Oregon, but I've never heard of it.
Never heard of it, so it might be a fictional place. what do we think Merrick's like? Let's go ahead and assume it's fictional. I'll ask in the booth if you can look up to see if Merrick, Oregon is a real place. M-E-R-R-I-C-K? Like the Elephant Man?
I think so.
Okay. All right. Oregon has a couple of different aspects to it. Do we think this is suburban? Do we think it's rural? Do we think it's urban? What do we think?
I would say suburban in my head.
Suburban. And parts of Oregon can be dicey, yes?
Yes.
Yeah. Like, and you can be in a really nice part of Oregon and they'll say, don't drive 5 miles that way. That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But Merrick, do we think Holly was escaping Merrick to get to St. Dennis Medical?
She seems pretty happy to be there.
She's happy to be there, but maybe that's just a sign that she's lived a happy life in Merrick, Oregon. Is this what she wants? All right. It's fictional. It's fictional. So Merrick can be anything we want. So let's build the town of Merrick. Let's build that world out. Let's build that world out. My name is John Merrick, founder of the town of Merrick, Oregon. Many people died on the way here. The year, by the way, is 1870. This little patch of land is all I've ever wanted. I was a homesteader. Now I'm founder of this fair community where so many men and women have settled, such as this person here. Yeah, that's right, I've been riding the trail all the way through the prairies. Found myself here in Merrick. Time to stake my claim here and marry my bride. That's right. We are engaged to be married. The local chaplain will be wedding us in just a few days when he arrives in town. That's right, I'm the chaplain. Coming to the town of Merrick, spread the word of the Lord. Dangerous. Oh. We're under attack! Oh Lord! Oh Lord! My bride died 2 weeks after the minister was set to arrive here. Never did arrive here in Merrick. I wish I'd never come to this God-forsaken place. There's no future here. My father founded this town. Those were wild days back then for Merrick, but now we have cobblestone streets. We have clean water, more or less. We have a thriving agricultural community, and most of the disputes and skirmishes that plagued this town in its early days are mostly settled now. This is a proper community. I think it will be one for quite a long time. My father was a cold-hearted man. I had no love for him. But he left me this town. I have been the mayor in his absence for these past 14 years. I want Merrick to be a good place. I want Merrick to be a place where people can call it home. My name's Sam Merrick. It's 1962. My family founded this town, and now we're sending our sons and daughters to Vietnam. I don't know why. What are we doing over there? I don't see the need for it. That's why I voted for Richard Nixon. Nixon never would have gotten us into this conflict over there, which I think is only going to get worse. Merrick is a place of decent people, decent values. Now, if you vote for me for mayor, I promise I will help to steer this community in the right direction. To be the kind of town that people can... Oh, God! I've been shot! Ah! 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 girl. Your wife says she wants to name her Holly. 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 May I see her? May I see her? She's fine. She's resting. Your wife is asleep. You can go in a few minutes, but I just wanted to let you know, sir. Holly. Holly. I wanted a son. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I thought, okay, Jack, you can't tell anybody this, least of all Linda. Just act happy. Just act like this is what you wanted. Act like this is what you wanted, Jack. It's easy. You've faked stuff before. You can fool anybody. You can fool anybody. You fooled your wife. Your name was Jack. You fooled everybody you've ever worked with. You assumed the identity of the man you murdered. You can do this, Jack. You can do this. You can be a dad to Holly. You can be a good dad to Holly. No one ever needs to find out what you are, Jack. No one ever needs to find out what you are. This will be the role of a lifetime for you. Good Jack. Good father. Good husband. Family man. Not a murderer with lust for blood. Till the days are over, Jack. That's how you get away with this. As far as your daughter is concerned, you're a good man. You love her. And you're not disappointed. Hi, Dad. Oh, it's fine. Yeah, no, everybody's really nice. I'm in a bit of a love triangle right now with two of the doctors. Dad, don't. Don't. If you fly here and try to stand up for me, you'll just embarrass me. This is a professional situation. Yes, I know a love triangle at work is hardly professional, Dad. Oh, God. You're always thinking only of me. Thank you, Dad. Give my best to Mom. All right. Oh, by the way, some of the other nurses here have gonorrhea. All right. Now, I'm not suggesting that you need to build in this entire framework. This is just a sketch. This is just a notion. When you go in there for season 2, I don't want you to just head in there with a rough idea that maybe the town she's from is real. Maybe she has a last name. Maybe she liked it in Oregon. You've got to basically create a whole history. And we didn't have time to go back as far as I would have liked. And obviously, like, a lot of what I just did was very patriarchal. That's not what I'd suggest for you. I was following the lineage in a way because I didn't want to spend too much time assuming your role because I thought that would be presumptuous. I don't know how you played it, and I don't know if I was even close. Please don't take anything that I did as Holly as anything resembling a note because I haven't read the scripts. I don't know what the tone is. I don't know what kind of gossip is, so I went with a gonorrhea outbreak. But these are all things that you won't need to worry about because they'll give you what they give you, and then anything they don't give you, you take. You make it and you take it. That's basically what I'm telling you here. If you're in a show and they've given you 10 out of 18, and they've given you a woman with no last name from a fake town, this is essentially a permission structure that they've created for you. Give her a last name. If they change it later on, you can adapt. Anything that's not in the final edit, that's not put out in the world, is just in your head. But I want you to start building the town of Merrick, Oregon. And bear in mind, Oregon has a lot of green bean farmers, and I believe there is a patch in the middle that is a hotbed for the KKK. This is what I was told. I never visited there, but the person who told it to me had a look of fear in their eyes that told me they're either correct or they believe they're correct to such an extent that I trust them, whether it's true or not, and that's the age we live in, certainly. Do you feel you can do that going into season 2? It's vital. Nurses in actual healthcare situations are let go all the time, and they have a full sense of their own reality. So in some ways, you go in with a tremendous advantage in that you can build your own inner life for Holly, but also a real disadvantage in that Holly is not a real person. Holly is a construct that you are part of the collaboration of creating. I don't mean to scare you, but these are the moments that count. And I don't say this for me. I don't have any skin in the game, although who knows, maybe I'll end up booking something and coming to visit St. Dennis Medical at some point in the future, in which case none of this should be brought up. But I'm not asking you to do this for me. I'm not even asking you to do this for you. I'm asking you to do this for Holly. You're the only hope she has. You're her only future. She can't exist. They're not going to recast Holly with someone else. They'll just destroy her. They'll disappear her. They're not going to say, oh, let's bring in a different actor to take over the role and expand it. If it doesn't pay off with you, it won't pay off with anyone. You're all she has. There will never be another actor who comes in to save Holly if you fail. And I don't think you will fail because you got this far. 10 out of 18. That's more than half. Alex, thank you very much for sharing your professional experience. I'm going to look in my emails later and see if I put myself on tape for that. How would you describe your acting? Is it subtle or broad?
It's a pretty grounded show, so I would say
Grounded. Grounded, yeah, I might have gone the wrong way. All right, I need to talk to a non-actor, someone who you were about to say.
I was about to do an actor.
An actor. I'll get back to you. Non-actor? Not an actor. Why not?
I was never encouraged to be an actor.
You were never encouraged. Did you ever want to be an actor?
I did, yeah.
But no one ever said like, hey,
I was discouraged.
that's different.
Okay.
Not encouraged. Here, hold on. No, you have done nothing wrong. This is what we're exploring here. Because the way that we tell our story, to some extent, reflects the way that we actually feel about it. And the way you presented it to me was, I'm not an actor because I was never encouraged to be an actor. I wanted to be, but I was never encouraged. And then you reveal, not only were you never encouraged, which that can be forgiven. I actually think it's irresponsible to encourage people to be an actor. Hey, you should be an actor. It's a terrible thing to wish upon someone who's expressed no interest. And there are instances in which discouraging someone from becoming an actor is an act of mercy. Because people worry, it's a terrible industry, it's a terrible job. I want to illustrate with something I read in the trades. Variety had a story yesterday about Eva Longoria. Did anyone read this story about, I don't know why it took so long for this to become news, but apparently when the movie John Wick was being made, the financing fell through before they were getting ready to film it. And they were $6 million short of the money they needed. And it looked like maybe John Wick is never going to get made as a movie. It's just going to fall apart because the money's not there. And Eva Longoria stepped in and provided $6 million. And she is the reason why they made that movie, which was a hit and spawned many more hits that continue to be made. And this article was sort of celebrating how, like, she's the reason why this movie didn't just disappear without being completed and released. And in the article, the person said, so, having essentially been the reason, the savior of the John Wick franchise, the person who made it possible, did you ever consider like putting her in a role in one of the sequels? And the director said, oh yeah, she wants to. She really wants to do action. I'd love to work with her. We're trying to find something. Now, we don't know the particulars of what we're trying to find something means, but on some level, my gut reaction to that was, even being Eva Longoria, even giving $6 million, that is the reason the franchise exists, and then multiple movies in, we're trying to see if we can find something for her to play in one of these movies. Think about how hard it is to be an actor when that is how high the bar is. Maybe we'll see if you're right for something in the next John Wick. Just nothing for you in the, 4 they made so far? And that Peacock series in the hotel? Who discouraged you?
My mother.
My mother what is your relationship with your mother like? Tenuous.
Yeah.
You're speaking? There's tension?
Yeah, she just called.
She just called during the show to say, I hear you're in an acting class, don't.
Getting too close to the stage.
What did she do specifically? Tell me your story of how what made you want to be an actor, and how did your mother discourage you?
What made me want to be an actor, I think, was everybody else was trying out for the school play. It was The Wizard of Oz,
Wizard of Oz.
and I loved The Wizard of Oz.
Do you have a favorite character or a character you wanted to play in The Wizard of Oz?
Oh yeah, I wanted to be Dorothy.
You wanted to be Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz. But did you audition for it?
No.
Because
I just signed up to audition.
you signed up to audition. Your mother found out.
And she said that she was in the school play. She was in the sport. She was cast as the Grinch.
As the Grinch?
Yes.
So your mother was in a school play in high school. She was the Grinch. And she stayed in character? Now I just ruined people's lives.
And she said you basically may not get Dorothy. You might be a Grinch or something you don't want to be.
Right.
And then you have to go to the rehearsals and you have to show up. And you
She didn't like that she got cast as the Grinch. Okay. And so based on her disappointing experience, she didn't enjoy being in the Grinch. What did she want to be in a production of How the Grinch Stole Christmas? This was what it was?
No, actually.
What, they weren't doing Halloween as Grinch Night. That's another, the Grinch is the Cat in the Hat. I'm trying to think of how many different properties the Grinch has appeared in. Seussical? Was it Seussical?
I don't actually know. I don't think it existed.
Maybe some sort of early proto-Seussical. Some sort of pirate production of the works of Theodore Geisel. Let's assume it was a production of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I doubt anyone even recognized the other titles that I listed. What did she want to play? Mary Lou Who?
Uh-huh.
It's a cameo. It's not a great part. Like, it's fine, but like, how do you end up playing the Grinch if you want to play Mary Lou Who? How could anyone who's castable as the Grinch ever be like, I seem like more of a Mary Lou Who? Like, how tall is your mom?
5'5".
5'5", okay. In a student production, I think that's too tall for Mary Lou Who. Right? You have a grown woman come out and be like, what are you doing? Our tree. Like, I'm sorry, you gotta look like a little kid if you're Mary Lou Who. 5'5" is not gonna cut it, even in a student production. So she's like, shit, I tried out. I don't know if that's how your mom talks. Shit. I tried out for How the Grinch Stole Christmas. I really wanted the one scene role of Mary Lou Who. Does your mom smoke? Does your mom smoke?
No, she doesn't.
Put this out there. And then to my dismay, they post the cast list and I'm playing the Grinch. I gotta be at every rehearsal. The character's so unpleasant, he steals Christmas. And then it's redeemed at the end, which I didn't buy and I can't sell. It's humiliating. Does she have to wear a green suit? You got me in a head to toe green suit. Oh. You would not believe who they cast as Mary Lou Who. Why would they do that? Oh, what did they do? This girl that I see who plays Mary Lou who does scene after scene on the stage up above, her eyes all a blubber, her voice full of love. Just who is this girl who played Mary Lou who? If I had my way, I know what I would do. So she has her experience, and that's her only play she did? So she's like, this is how plays go. You try to get a little part, and then they give you the lead, and you don't even get to say, no, I don't want to do it. I've never in my life heard of a school play where someone got the lead and was like, shit, and then had to do it. Like, there's like dozens of kids in that school. How old was she?
I mean, in middle school, she was 8th grade.
Oh, God, so like it's the age where everybody's an asshole, too. Oh, my God, there would have been 20 kids who would have loved to play the Grinch. And she's doing it under duress. Why didn't you do it? Why didn't you do it? What year would that have been? What year?
1975, I think.
Okay, so I'm about to be born. Or I've been born, depending on what part of the year. She's doing the Grinch. The Grinch is still a relatively recent property. This is hot stuff. It's a big deal to be doing this. It's a big deal. And she's mad about it. And then you want to be in The Wizard of Oz. And she's like, you won't get Dorothy. Here's what I think might happen. You said, she said you'll end up playing the Grinch. She doesn't mean they're going to do a mashup. She means like the witch or a flying monkey or something that you don't want to play. So you did an audition. And you never did a play. Where do we go from here now? What do you want to do? Do you want to be in plays? What do you do now?
Oh, I'm unemployed.
Okay, so you're no different than. No, you're no different than me. I'm unemployed. Like, you're basic, like, that's a bigger deal in other professions. Like, that's the norm. So you're already doing the thing that actors do best, which is not be in anything at all. Like, that's almost every actor at any given moment. What was your last job?
Software sales.
Software sales. You like that?
No.
All right. So there's no reason to ever do software sales again unless like, do you have like prospects on the horizon? Like, is there a software sales place that you're interviewing with?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, that's a sustainable like industry, right?
Safe. Yeah.
It's safe. Okay, but nothing's really safe, right?
No.
Right?
Right.
That's the thing. It used to be that the reason you wouldn't pursue this, the reason you wouldn't go into an arts profession is it was risky. And all these other jobs are really safe. But unfortunately for society, every single industry is now unsafe. So it's no longer a selling point of like, well, I work for a bookstore. Well, okay, but like, who knows? Like, software sales, is that a growth industry right now?
No.
Okay, so it's shrinking.
Yeah.
So like, get off that ship maybe. What kind of, do you still want to play like a Dorothy type part?
Yeah.
Yeah. What kind of, I'm trying to think, because again, like, encouraging people is different than discouraging people in terms of the morality of it, the ethics of it. You haven't even done it not for money, right? So have you ever taken an acting class? Well, the great thing about acting, what?
That's fine. Yeah.
That's why you're here. Yes. The good and bad thing about any kind of classroom situation which is participatory is it gives you a chance to do the thing that you want to be paid to do, but instead you pay and they let you do it, and that's sort of how it is. But let's say like even beyond that, like, do you fight with your mom? Yeah. So that's already happening. What I'm going to suggest to you, how dramatic do these fights get?
Pretty dramatic.
Okay. Let's start approaching these from a different angle because they're going to happen anyway. So it's not like I'm not asking you to cause fights with your mom. I'm just asking you to lean in a little bit. Okay? What do you think, if you had to game it out, what do you think the next fight you have with your mom is going to be about?
Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving? What's the deal with Thanksgiving?
They're coming to visit
Who's they?
my parents.
Okay, what's your dad like?
It's cool.
He's cool. But he doesn't encourage. He just doesn't discourage.
He encourages.
He encourages.
Yeah.
Okay. Where was he during the Wizard of Oz fiasco? He wasn't.
He was living in a different country.
He was living in a different country. Great excuse for not. Honey, I couldn't. Honey, I couldn't. I was living in a different country. You have to forgive me. I would have. You know what I would have said? You know what I would have said? Put your name back on that list. Put your name back on that list. Look, let me help out. Let me help out with the food. Because I know we were fighting. Oh, wait, what's the fight about Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
You don't want them to come?
No, I'm excited that they're coming.
You're excited that they're
They
coming?
don't want to come.
They don't want to come.
Yeah.
I didn't want to come, neither did your mother. But we did it because we love you. And I honestly, I just heard about this fiasco with the Wizard of Oz. I don't know how it came up. You brought it up. We were watching it on TV, and you said, what's your name?
Alex.
You're Alex and you're Alex. This makes it easy. Everyone's Alex. We were watching Wizard of Oz on TV. And I said, ugh, Alex wanted to be Dorothy in this. And you said, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? That makes no sense. Alex wanted to be Dorothy. This movie was made in the 1930s. And then I explained to your father that back when he was living in another country and not participating in the active parenting of our daughter, that you almost Grinched yourself into the worst experience of your life. And I was shocked, sweetie, I was shocked. It broke my heart. Because if I'd been there, instead of gallivanting all over the world, if I'd been there, I would have said, sweetie, put your name back on the list. Doesn't matter if you don't get Dorothy. Doesn't matter if you play whoever. There's lots of great characters. You're still in the wonderful land of Oz. It's all pretend anyway. Really, neither of us wanted to come here for Thanksgiving, sweetie, but it's not our first choice. I don't like rehashing this stuff, but I just had to say, just nothing to stop you from, I don't know, you could do a Thanksgiving pageant or something. They did a Thanksgiving play on Broadway, I read, last year or something. Maybe you could try out for that. You think she's going to try out for something on Broadway? She didn't even try out for a school play, and it didn't take much discouragement. It didn't. It didn't. You folded like a deck of cards. All I had to say was take your name off the list. They're going to Grinch you out of the best role. And boy, oh boy, we saw what kind of fortitude you had. Some dream. What did I say? Why are you yelling at me? Oh my God. Lower your voice, please. It's Thanksgiving. I'm thankful I still have my hearing in my left ear after you yelling at, where is this coming from? How dramatic, and she just, what did I say? What did I say? I don't blame her for storming out. You know? She has a flair for the dramatic. Sweetie! Oh, she's running down the street. You go for it, sweetie! What, I just mean wherever, I don't know why she's running. Now we're in the last place on earth we either. I think you should get really dramatic at Thanksgiving.
No problem.
But do it on purpose. Like kind of treat Thanksgiving like a chance to try characters out on your parents. Versions of yourself. Nice characters, sad characters, angry characters. Like lean into whatever you're feeling and see what it feels like. I'm not saying this is be good for your family or for your career, but I do think it'd be an interesting experiment. And at this point, there's nothing really stopping you. You have a real busy schedule?
No.
Okay. Find some way to have fun doing it. I really do think that's because you're doing it for you. You're not doing it for anybody else. Like the world doesn't need any more actors, but like you might enjoy doing it. And there's really no difference between like having fun acting in a room with another actor in front of some other students and being in a Broadway play, except for the money and the glamour and the prestige. But in terms of the actual enjoyment of it, a little secret, I'll ask Alex, do you have fun when you're on a set acting? Okay. It's not always fun. But Alex had fun doing the 10 out of 18 role episodes in that. But a lot of times when you're doing acting professionally, it's just a job. And it's not really any different than selling software in terms of like, well, this is what I have to do today. But I don't think that's what you're looking for. I think you're looking for a creative, like you want to see if you like it. Because part of you is still stuck in the lack of the experience you were denied as a kid. Because let's say, who ended up playing Dorothy ultimately?
Oh, I don't remember.
Yeah, but were they
I
good?
didn't even see it.
You didn't see it?
No.
That makes sense. I wouldn't have gone to see it either. Yeah, but I think to do it in a way where you actually like can have the fun that you didn't get to have at that point, I think is a really smart idea. I want to talk to you now.
Yeah.
Because you were ready to go. You were locked and loaded before when I started to ask for a non-actor. You were an actor.
Yeah.
What kind of actor are you?
I was in a feature film. I worked on a feature film this year.
What kind of feature film? Was it your first feature, or have you done many?
My first feature, it was a small part.
A small part
Yeah.
in a feature film. Has it come out yet?
It's coming out in December.
Okay, so you're here promoting it. It's fine. It's fine. I don't have a rule against it.
I barely have any lines.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you about a man named Charlie Chaplin.
I scream a lot. Like I just have screams.
Screams are lines. You lied to me. You don't have lines, but your character screams a lot?
Screams, yes.
Those are lines!
Yeah.
Lines are not just beautiful words. Lines are when you get to make a noise with your mouth and it comes out in the film. I don't know why professional actors, well, no, I do know why professional actors don't tell the full truth initially. It's because you're trying to lure me in. You don't have any lines. Why does your character scream? Who is your character and what is this film?
Okay, it's called Y2K. It's a horror.
Rachel Zegler film,
Yes.
Kyle Mooney film.
Kind of film.
Yeah.
And I'm one of the high schoolers at this party where an apocalypse happens.
This is a very big deal film that's getting good press.
But my part is very it's like
You scream in the Y2K movie. You're a screamer in the Y2K movie. Who is your character? Does he have a name?
yeah, his name is Cory Flock.
Cory Flock?
Yes.
Like flock of seagulls?
Yes.
Did you give Cory a backstory?
No, he doesn't have a backstory.
He does. You didn't think of it. You think Cory just manifested? Cory didn't exist in that world until the moment you started screaming? Was he like coming out of a womb in the scene? Is that the scream? Because I'll buy that if you say Cory is a newborn baby being birthed on Y2K and all my lines are screams because I am a newborn baby. If you tell me that's what's in the script, then, what's your name?
Zach.
Then Zach, then I'll buy that Cory has no backstory. But if he's a teenager, he's lived. He's loved. He's suffered disappointment. He's felt joy. And now, it's the turn of the century and the computers are killing people. Right? That's the plot of the movie, right?
This computer's gonna.
Why is Cory screaming?
I am getting killed
By a computer?
by a different appliance.
What kind of appliance?
It's in the kitchen. It's
This isn't a game show, Zach. When I ask you a question, I'm not trying to tease it out of you. I want a fucking answer, Zach. God damn it! I will pay for whatever it takes to repair what I've done. Zach, when I ask you something, you have to tell me the answer, okay? Otherwise, things get out of control very quickly, okay? I'm invested in your character, in the work you've done. I'm trying to help you promote your movie.
okay.
What appliance is killing Cory?
A blender.
Was he using the blender at the beginning of the scene?
No, it just attacks him
Just attacks him.
during the apocalypse.
Right.
Part.
Yes. What was Zach doing that morning?
At the beginning of the party.
At the beginning part?
At the beginning of the party, he's talking to girls and he has a boner.
Okay. Come on. Go back out there and talk to the girls. Go back out there and talk to the girls. Come on, buddy. Come on, buddy. Go away just for a minute. All right. You know what? It's fine. You got nothing to be ashamed of. Your whole life has led to this moment. Just go out there and talk to the girls, and it's going to be fine. They're going to notice, unless you keep their eyes up here. Hey, girls. No. What's everybody doing in the kitchen? Huh? Oh, nothing. Anybody, everybody having a good, do you know who's gonna be getting a New Year's kiss later? Yeah, look at it. I am. Yeah, no, just keep eyes up here. Girls, let me tell you my story, okay? I was an only child for the first 6.5 years of my life, and then my parents had a baby girl, and it rocked my world. Because prior to that, I was the center of everything. Like, I was their whole world. I was all that they had. And then this baby comes along and takes everything from me. And it took me a long time to realize that I hadn't lost anything at all. That I had gained something so precious. And that it was stupid for me to think that I was the center of the universe, even from my parents. We were a family. Anyway. Zach. I don't think anyone's going to notice when Y2K comes out. Because I believe in Kyle Mooney as the director. He directed the film, yes?
Correct.
And I believe that you would have given him what he wanted, and he would not have stopped until he got what he wanted. You can approach these things and just be a screamer with no backstory. You can approach a role that way. It's completely valid. Maybe you're just a piece in a puzzle. But I beg of you, Zach, for yourself, for your own enrichment, for your own well-being going forward, I don't want you to ever approach another role by thinking that it's just something that appears out of nowhere and then vanishes the second your screaming is over with. What a sad, lonely life Cory lived. He was born talking to some girls with a boner. And then moments later, he was murdered by a malfunctioning machine. It's one of the saddest stories I've ever heard. And I have heard many sad stories. We all have. But I would defy you to find a life less worth living than Cory's. I don't think any of us would choose it. For no matter how delightful the conversation while experiencing erection might have been, surely it was far too brief and unfulfilled to be worth the agony that he would experience moments later when Cory died screaming. Will you make me a promise, Zach?
I will.
Thank you. I want to talk to one more non-actor briefly. Yes, you in the front? Yes.
Hello.
Hi. Why aren't you an actor?
Well, I did act at one point.
So you lied to
I
me.
haven't been acting.
Okay, you haven't been
But
acting.
now I might act again.
You are so not a non-actor. It's almost sickening. You were an actor, you stopped acting, and you might act again.
But I don't know.
If you were a murderer, and I said, are there any non-murderers here in the audience? And you said, me, I'm not a murderer. And I said, so you never murdered anyone? I said, no, I have murdered and I might kill again. I think we'd all agree we're talking to a murderer. You're an actor. What's your name?
Zach.
Zach? You're an actor, Zach. Zach, you're an actor. You're an actor, Zach. Say it with me. I'm Zach.
I'm Zach.
I can act.
I can't act.
I am Zach, the actor who acts.
The actor who acts.
Why do you think you're going to act again, Zach?
I was at work yesterday, and then I was like, my friend is working on a podcast, like a fiction podcast, and I was joking like, oh, you should cast me in this role. And then yesterday at work, he said to me, oh, actually, we recorded the role already, but it wasn't working, but I think you might be good for it. So now he's gonna send me the script.
Do you have this role if you want it?
No, I need an audition.
Okay. Do you think your friend is essentially offering you the role because it's not working out? I want to send you the script.
I feel like 75% chance, maybe.
75% chance? Zach, you're more of an actor right now than I am. I don't know what I wanted from a non-actor, but it wasn't this. It wasn't this. You throwing in your face, you're being sent scripts, and you're like, we don't know what to do. Will you please read it? Oh my God, how are we going to complete it without you, Zach? You're going to do acting again.
Possibly.
Don't make me do more damage than I have to pay for. Zach, why do you think you might not be an actor?
I just don't know, because I haven't read the whole script, so I don't know if I'm going to be good at this role or not, but I don't have a lot of confidence in my abilities.
Okay, so you think that self-doubt is a disqualifier. Zach, have you ever talked to another actor?
I work with actors.
What do you do for a living, Zach?
I'm the first team PA on the Law and Order organized crime.
Do you have any say in casting? No, you don't have any pull?
No.
Okay. Don't tell anybody there about any of this. I've never booked anything with Dick Wolf Productions, but you work for Dick Wolf Productions.
Well, we're on a 3-week hiatus.
The caveats that you think are meaningful are not. Like, if you were a millionaire and you're like, I don't have my millions with me right now, so I guess in a sense I'm a pauper. Zach, I'm starting to suspect that your name isn't Zach and that you are an actor and that this is a character and you're playing Zach and that other Zach hired you and that Alex hired Alex to be another Alex and that all of this is a simulation. We have learned a lot of lessons in this class that were never meant to be taught. The thing that I want to leave you with, Alex, Zach, in a class that I think we should be called perhaps acting from Alex to Zach. Is that you may be an actor, or you might not be an actor, but the truth is that if you think you aren't an actor, you are. And if you think you are an actor, you aren't. And I think we'll leave it there for the time being, and let that percolate over the coming weeks and months, and see where we are in a future class. My name is Connor Ratliff, and this has been the acting class.